Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm King Sway, and welcome to RPG Story Realm. The first thing I want to do is say if you are a returning member of the channel, I do want to apologize to you, but we'll get into that uh, later in the video. There's a couple things I want to get into later in the video after the story. I'm a little rusty, so please bear with me. I'm saying this to both new and returning members of the channel. Um, There was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I'm not doing an intro. If you are a returning member or someone that's seen my earlier videos, you'll notice that I do not have a little intro this time. I'm toying with different editing styles, and hopefully you guys like it. But as they say, roll post. This one's titled "Starting a New Campaign," and two players already seem like a handful before we've even gotten started. Okay, kind of like these ones. So as I said, like we just gonna roll right into this one. So here we go. I'm not a veteran DM by any means, a little over a year, but I need some help with two players. They're two friends of my siblings that I brought in to do a campaign because they know IDM. Altogether, it's a party of five. Exhibit A, Tech. Tech has been very anal. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I'm sorry. Anal when it comes to how the world is and what other characters are. They have asked multiple times for logical explanations as to why things are the way they are and how the world is made up. They also looked at other players' character sheets on D&D Beyond and messaged me things like, why does so and so have this many points in that stat when they should be in this stat? The gear doesn't fit with their background. They should change it. They seem like an alright person, but it sounds like I might have someone who's going to attempt to micromanage the entire party, which, in my personal opinion, is never fun. Exhibit B, Rodent. Rodent wants to do the funny, horny bard thing. That's never funny. I don't even know how that became a thing. I'm sorry. Even after explicitly being told that I won't tolerate it. We've all said it's not funny, it's annoying, and they think being the cringe archetype makes everything funny. They've decided to be a Haragon because rabbits fuck a lot. Rabbits have sex with one partner, not multiple. Like, okay, we're yeah, moving on. After some pushback, they decided that they were just going to play a literal rabbit instead. I have not responded to this idea yet. Part of me wants to just cut them out, but another part of me wants to talk it out and figure out what we can do to make this fun for them and everybody else in the party. And that's the end of the post. Now we're going to move on to my little thoughts and interjecting on the situation. So here we go. All right, I'm not too mad at Tech, but I'm not going to lie, that's a little bit of bias. The reason I have a little bit of bias for Tech because I used to be like him. Uh, in my earlier days of playing Dungeons and Dragons, things had to make sense to me, and in certain aspects of things, when I'm playing things, they still have to make sense to me. Um, and that can be a point of taking people out of their immersion. And when you take people out of their immersion, it's not fun for everybody. It stalls the game, and I don't think Tech knows this. Uh, what this DM should do is take Tech aside and explain, hey, if you have any questions as to why things work the way they work, or things to that degree, hit me up after the session. At least in my opinion, obviously, this is my opinion. Um, but as far as him looking at another person's stats and everything, personally, I don't think that's a bad thing because unless you start metagaming, um, which I think that Tech might do. Actually, now that I've said that out loud, I think Tech might do because Tech's, as it's stated, Tech's trying to figure out the world and trying to make the best sense of it. Okay, so I know you have these kind of stats. you would be best suited for this task instead of trying to play the character. He doesn't see himself as the character yet. There's no world immersion for him yet. He's still seeing it as a system, and because he's seeing it as a system, he's trying. He the fable thing of he's trying to beat the game, which he hasn't figured out yet. You don't beat Dungeons and Dragons. You play in the world, and it just continues. Um, if the DM can communicate that aspect of things, I think maybe that will help more on text side. Moving over to rodent, it's not funny. Like I'm look, I've had my share of bards, but I don't think any of them played like that. And I make joke characters, and I don't play like that. Like, nah. So I guess because in his head, his character is gonna get laid a lot, and like that's a goal. I don't think that rodent understands that there's a bunch of problems that can come with that story wise. Uh, one thing I saw was that the mothers of a bard, of the mothers of the children of one bard, they commissioned a bounty hunter to go find the bard and then bring them to justice as they wanted a father for their children. So now you got this bounty hunter on your ass just because you want to run around being the horny bard. That or what was it? Another one where they wanted to seduce a dragon, and the DM said, "Okay, I'll let you seduce a dragon." Problem is, he's a top, and he doesn't feel like transforming back into a human form. Like implement things that aren't fun, and maybe rodent will stop. Like that's because the whole reason they're doing it is because they think it'll be fun. You take away that fun aspect. Don't get me wrong, I understand to a degree that is taking away agency, which is something most DMs, I hope at least, try to communicate against. But if you show that actions have consequences, which is more to the point of what I should have said and explained properly, um, they'll understand that that action might not be something they want to take. So there's that. I hope that that little bit of advice is good and you guys can agree with it, or maybe you don't agree with it. Let me know in the comments below. It's been a long while since I've engaged with you guys. Um, and that actually brings me to the point of the apology. Uh, in the point of editing this video, I'll be putting in different screenshots of myself and what I'm doing. I life has gotten a life's been whooping my ass in different capacities. I had another child. I'm a father. It makes my sixth child. Um, he's going to be two. Not too long ago. As of this recording, it is May. Is it May 30th? He's going to be two in June. Uh, I watched. I've been trying to get my own projects off the ground. As I said, I'll be putting in screenshots of things with graphics and things to that degree. Also, I've spoken about my books. I put a depression on that, and I say that because I wrote a lot of books. I just hadn't published them. I was getting around to publishing them because I was considering the artwork for the covers and everything. And then one of my flash drives was damaged. Another one was just flat out lost. So I lost almost everything I'd ever written. And that put me in a point of depression because I worked hard for months on those books. I published some of those the videos here, and I when I'm doing my audiobooks, because I like you guys. I would hope that you guys would want to be entertained by that as well. Um, I enjoy writing, and it's one of the few things I feel as though I'm decent at. Also, I'll be trying, like I said, as I said, I'm picking up fanfic. Actually, particularly for this game you see in the background right now. Well, I can't even call it background. It's the basis right now. Code Vein. Picking up fanfics for that. I was going to write a fanfic for the new Castlevania series. Um, I'm working on a book. Uh, it takes place in a world similar to My Hero Academia, where people, like 80% of people, have some kind of power. I don't know. I'm not gonna call them a quirk, but there are superheroes, there are supervillains, but a mass of people are just dealing with the day to day life. And the protagonist of the story is a bouncer who, going to be a bouncer. Um, he's a underground fighter who ends up turning into a bouncer for a strip club. And in the strip club, people still have their powers. There's a lot of turmoil, strife, and drama integrated with that because there's a woman in the strip club who is a shapeshifter. And what she does is she tries to steal everybody's customers by shapeshifting into the girl that a customer is there to see. She's having relations that I don't know how much I can say without getting flagged on YouTube. I'm trying to cut back on my cursing. Um, with the owner, so the owner's not doing anything about it, even though everybody's complaining about it. Uh, they have a policy to try and hire people with super strength and or invulnerability because alcohol and superpowers don't always make the best combination. And when you have alcohol, naked women, and superpowers, most people think they've got the best power out there. You can't beat me. So the bouncer has to be able to take whatever the aggressive customer throws at him. So as you can see, I thought a lot about the world, but part of that is because I'm a bouncer, and that's another part of the apology. Work has been crazy lately. Not even just lately. I am an assistant. I'm not just a bouncer anymore. I'm an assistant manager, which has taken up a lot of my time. So you got the fact that I have a new child. I hit a small point of depression because my work, the things that I had worked on and for, had somehow disappeared in one form or another with my writing, and that was heartbreaking to me. I also have my I call it a technical promotion um, as the assistant manager to the bar that I work at. I run and see, it was a shop on Etsy, but what I do is I have a physical location for the shop. I just create the merchandise on Etsy, and then I order the merchandise, and that's how I've actually been working with the store. So I have a clothing store, and I have employees for that. I also started a limousine transportation company, and I've been working to get that off, not even just off the ground. I've been working to make it grow because we do actually have decent clientele. So, as you can see, I've been busy and I haven't been able to make a lot of content, not to the degree that I would like. So that's taken up a lot of my time. And as I said, I want to apologize to the people, to the fans, to the community, to those that have been there with me since the beginning of this channel. And I want to say that I will try my best to make 1 or 2 videos a week to try and get uh the ball rolling on this channel again. I want it to grow. I want it to expand. It's always been my dream to have this channel monetized, even just a little bit, so that I can actually hopefully help make people smile. I like telling stories and I like interacting with you guys. I always have, and Lord willing, I always will. I want to thank you guys for. Oh, no, no, no. Uh, so this is going to be a longer video, and I say that because I was about to sign off, but one of the things I've been doing to spend time with my children, if you guys remember, I played. Well, obviously, I played Dungeons and Dragons. Um, I was recording our sessions and playing them back here on this channel. I've been playing Tales of Xadia with my kids. I don't use the Cortex system the way it was designed. I use one of my own systems, which doesn't take anything away from the experience. But we've been having fun. One of the first missions, it's been myself, the mother of my youngest child, and my daughter. She goes by Princess Sway. Uh, I play as a Sunfire elf who had before I get into my backstory because it's a little longer. My daughter plays as an Earthblood elf who is just out to adventure. She wants to roam free. She wants to right wrongs, stop bad guys, and just basically be the good guy. Her character's name is Asmelia. She's an Earthblood warrior. Her traveling mate is an Earthblood mage named Sabriel, who wants to expand her knowledge of the world, expand her knowledge of Arcanum, not just Earth Arcanum, but all Arcanum. Even if she can't perform the spells, she wants to be able to write about it and and create her own library of sorts, which is a commendable task. But she adventures with Sabriel and kind of acts like a what's the word? Kind of like a Jiminy Cricket. I don't want to say Jiminy Cricket, but she reins Asmelia in when Asmelia is a little too gung ho about, hey, we need to go do this right now, and then runs off. A voice of reason. That's the term I'm looking for. Voice of reason. I play as Devarius, as I said, a Sunfire elf, but I get a little edgelord. The reason I say that is he's a Sunfire warrior mage that fell in love with a Moonshadow elf. They had their own child. The way they met was on on a mission. He was a caravan guard. Now, because the Tales of Xadia canonically starts after season 3. We did the 2-year time jump, and now we're into seasons 4 and 5, and explain what we were doing between. During all that time when the humans start coming in more was into Xadia and whatnot, Devarius worked as a caravan guard because it wasn't just humans that were. It's not just humans that are bandits. It's elves and stuff too. Devarius linked up with the love of his life, the Moonshadow elf. The Moonshadow elf was also a guard. He was trying to make a way for himself and brighten his horizons as a warrior. They respected one another's skills, and out of that respect grew attraction. So it got to the point where they started seeing each other and decided to make it official and settled down. They bought a house and had their own little family. The thing about that is they had a child. Now, you see a lot of commingling in the Dragon Prince, but it's mostly humans of different skin tones. You don't see elves of a different skin of different races blending together with other elves. So you got a moon shadow elf having a child by a sunfire elf. And as I say that, the irony is my character is using a flaming sword. So there's moon shadow elves out there that actually took that as a threat because the Vardis is capable of entering heat mode. For those of you that have watched The Dragon Prince, it's that thing that Janai does. Or if you've seen season 3, how Viren supercharges his soldiers and they look like the Sunfire Elves with the energy running through them. That's heat mode. Uh, it increases your strength. It basically technically turns you into Captain America, and I'm okay with that. Uh, you have a warrior who is capable of entering heat mode, making a child with an assassin who has natural stealth abilities and can pull a predator stealth mode when the moon is full. Nobody likes that. No, well, they like I said, it was a small sector of Moonshot Elves that saw it as a threat. So when Devaris was out on a mission, or a caravan guard mission, he came back to his family dead. He started dabbling in dark magic. And the reason he did that was because he's looking for a spell to bring his family back. He's honing his skills as a warrior because he's going to take revenge. But he's also expanding his knowledge of magic. What little bit of knowledge he had always just ran with, for the simple fact that he more so trusted his skill with a sword than with his skill with magic. But now he's trying to expand knowledge of magic and weapons fair. So while expanding knowledge and traveling to find leads on the sect of Moonshadow Elves that killed his family, he ran into Esmelia and Sabriel, and that was in an Earthblood village, Moonshadow village. Let me correct that. Moonshadow village. No, it was a no. I'm mixing it up. It was a blended village where the children and some of the adults they were getting sick. There was a magical sickness that was afflicting them, and they didn't have too many actual mages in there. The mages were doing what they could, but they needed dragon root. And while dragon root was somewhat common to the area, it was dying out, and it took like a day's time just to go in one direction to start harvesting dragon root. So the three of them teamed up, managed to get dragon root, and they fought. Helped gather herbs and stuff to help fight back the sickness, and eventually discovered that a dark mage was the reason behind the sickness, as he was trying to slowly poison the populace and extract parts needed for dark magic spells. And he had help from less than savory elven types. So that's the first adventure we've gone on. We're probably going to play more, and we're probably going to play some of the adventures from the series. When I say the series, I mean there's 2 adventures that are in the book. It's about a flying city that's slowly coming crashing down. Another about worms sucking the nutrients out of farmland. And it's a problem because now crops and stuff aren't growing, and there's no nutrients, and there's less food and less things to trade. So far, so good. Let me correct that. We are all having a grand time, and like I said, I'm not using Cortex system because I don't think it's for me. But the lore behind everything, and the monsters and the creatures, the flora and the fauna, it's we're greatly. You can hear it in my voice. We're greatly enjoying it. Uh, I am going to cut the video there. It's been a long one. I apologize if this was a little too long for you guys, especially for it having been an apology. I want to thank you guys for sticking around. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me. For those returning, I want to thank you guys for, well, returning, obviously. And for those of you just getting here, I want to thank you guys for finding enough interest to stick to the end of this video right here. Down in the description will be a link to the original post. That's pretty much it. With the outro, I mean, I've said everything I felt I need to say. So, what I will say is, in the meantime, between time, I'm always in these peace signs. I'm your main man, King Sway, and I will catch you in the next one.